welcome to another video. Um, Today we're going to discuss the show Slammed at the Lake. I was there yesterday, the 31st of October. Um, we sort of was presented or hosted by Low Stad. And this is a show we've been waiting for a while. We've been waiting for it for a while, sorry. And just maybe to discuss how it went down and what some of the views were about it. This is a show we've been waiting for a while for, mostly because it's been postponed due to COVID. I think out of the hands of the hosts, Low Stad. And I think this is really what Cape Town needed, because we haven't had any major shows for quite some time. I think it's roughly 2 years now, if not slightly longer. So it took place at the Hill Crest Quarry, that was out in Durbanville. I must say it was an amazing venue. I think for photos, the backdrop, and just the experience itself of the venue, I think was really cool. I know I got there early, so I got some nice pictures. But I think while the venue was a really nice place, I think a lot of people, and this was things people were discussing, and maybe something I felt too, was it was small. It was small in the sense that a large part of the quarry is taken up, obviously, by the water, the lake. But again, that's not necessarily a negative thing. I think in terms of the placement of cars, that was something I felt, and it's something that other people were bringing up during the day, was it felt a bit crowded. It was just the layout. I think there was enough space, but I think maybe somebody to organize the cars a bit better as they were pulling in may have been helpful. So something that would always be a bit of a difficult topic to discuss is the quality of cars at the show. So from me, I was competing, but I also have to look at it from the point of a spectator. So they paid 120 to 150, depending if they paid at the gate. Was it worth the 150 or up to 150 to see some of the vehicles? In all honesty, I think some people didn't feel that it was. For me personally, there was some really cool cars to see, and really just take the time to to kind of take in everything that was going on with them and see the changes people had done in the last almost 2 years. But I think that there were some cars people also felt were maybe a bit of a letdown. I suppose people have to understand there's always going to be a mix-up of certain things. It's like when you go to any other event, there will always be some cars that are faster and there'll be some that are slower. Speak to the drivers of the vehicles if they are around, and you can get an idea of what they've actually done, and then I think you can appreciate what people are doing, because not everything is seen with the eye, obviously. So from a driver or competitor's point of view, we paid 200 Rand to enter the event. I felt it was worth my money. This is my personal view. So all drivers got a little gift pack, which was basically air freshener, car wash. There was something else, and there was a little sponge and a polishing cloth. Also, we received water, we received cool drinks, we received energy drinks the whole day. We even received a ice cold sort of fruit salad on the day, which was very welcoming because it was a very hot day. So to me, that really made the entry as a competitor very worthwhile. I felt we were well accommodated. There was a driver's lounge which put us out of the shade. Myself, I was one of the first drivers there, so that means I was there before 7, unlike a lot of people. We were told come 7 o'clock, but it really made the day a lot easier, albeit it was very hot. So to that, I mean, a huge big ups to the organizers. Another thing was the entertainment on the day. So there were people, DJs and various acts throughout the day from an entertainment perspective. They had Jason from Boost SA on the mic. He was the MC. A very entertaining guy, very engaging. and just very genuine. And it's like a natural thing for him to do something like this. And I think, he held the show well in terms of getting the continuity of the day going. But the act itself was, I think, really top notch. And I think they put a lot of effort into getting some good acts there, or good entertainment. I must say this: there was this one crew that had pitched up as I was standing by the exit. I'd walked out and they were standing there, and I just really liked their energy about them. It was a group of youngsters who had performed, and they even had like this entourage. And for me, I look at it now. I think yesterday I felt like this was something different. Everybody's being given an opportunity, as well as well-known names. And I'm gonna admit this on video that I still so like, what the is this? Because in the music there was this like gunshots, and I thought like, what the rubbish, man. But that aside, even these people, it's really cool that they were given an opportunity, because they actually weren't bad. I think it was just this kind of gunshots in the music setting me off. But I think the entertainment as a whole on the day, what was actually pretty cool. It really, really like kept us going for the whole day. In terms of judging, and I'm going to say this, I think people were really genuinely shocked by some of the people who had won. I think something we must remember first and foremost: the judge's decision is final. You shouldn't question it. You can maybe go and learn why, if you really want to, why you maybe didn't win or something. Uh, there's a very sensitive way about going about that. But I think people were shocked, and I think when you listen to why certain people had won, it maybe made a little bit of sense. But I think, ask why did those people win, and I think we can learn something about it, and also understand what the purpose of the show was. It wasn't just about a complete show car, in my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was a stance show. They were looking at a slammed, lowered car. And there were cars who just did that better. So it maybe doesn't make sense to some people. I understand it, because again, I think it speaks to the purpose of the show. But also, having said that, you kind of want to get your you want the car to complement everything that it's doing, if that makes sense, and kind of being displayed in a way that is captivating. Um, Something I feel as a competitor is I'd like the judges to be visible. You kind of it becomes tied in wiping down your car the whole day. So obviously, maybe you want the judges to see your car and be presented as well as possible, but to go and wipe it down every 30 minutes becomes tiring, especially when you've been there the whole day. So, and you also want to maybe engage the judges. So for me personally, I think that judges need to be there a bit earlier. And I know this isn't always well taken, but this is my personal feedback. Others may disagree, and that's completely fine. It's not a saying the judging was crap, but please take that into account. And I think it helps us to know the categories before the time. So maybe before the show we can kind of prepare certain things, because that's maybe our strong point. Maybe certain people feel, but go all out beforehand, prepare your car in the best manner. So I just think it's nice to know what the categories are beforehand. With a show like this, I think one of the things we always look for is what happens after the event. We want to look for the videos, we want to look for the photos all over social media. And I ran into a lot of people who I know are media coverage. Some of them were the exclusive media on the day, some of them weren't. There was a lot of media houses and a lot of high quality photographers and videographers. So personally, I'm really looking forward to that part, and I think they really reached out and got hold of some of the best in the game, who I think are able to capture the memories of the day really well, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. One thing that I was thinking about, and again, I don't want it to come across as there's only problems at the show, because it really wasn't. But I think the marshals need to be a bit more strict. One thing I don't appreciate as an owner or competitor is when people lean on the cars. Irrespective of where the cars are and who it is, if it's young or old, people need to be politely asked to not lean on cars or not sit on cars, or or play around cars. because people spend money, on their paint work or everything, and it becomes quite frustrating for drivers to have to go sit close by to their cars, purely because they have to say, please don't lean on it or this and that. That is the judges or the marshals' duty on the day. And yeah, I just think that in terms of that, marshals need to be stricter. Today, what were some of my favorites? If you know me, Audi S5 is always something that I've wanted and I've wanted to bag, and obviously customize. So to me, obviously, JP's Audi S5, bagged S5 to me is like a dream car. And this is a man who's also owned the car that I currently have, which was also my other dream car. So he's literally building everything for me. I thank him for that. Also, Carl's 325i or 325. I mean, I don't know how the man gets that car that low on coilovers, but anyway, I'm trying to think. The V12 Quantum, amazing. Twin turbo, no less. Um, Also, Zoya's two vans, also always really cool, always changing things on that. Um, if I think of the S2000, the blue one, always loved work wheels. Those were SSR, it's the same thing. But anyway, so that to me was really cool also. Um, I don't have a picture of it, but there was a Banshee with a wheelie bar. I don't know, just the whole look, lowered Banshee, wheelie bar, it just looked really cool to me. So, again, these were just some of the things that I really enjoyed. And I think also just meeting up with everybody for me was just a massive plus. I think we were all just really waiting a while to get out and see each other, albeit I feel like other people have seen each other. Maybe it's just me that hasn't. Overall, my conclusion and my feelings around the show. Something you must also take into account is this was Low Stad's first show, and I think they've had it's kind of long time coming because obviously it's been postponed multiple times. Um, Having said that, it didn't feel like it was their first show. This had felt like it was people that had been organizing shows for a while. um, I think in terms of everything, I just think there was a hell of a lot that you could see that they prepared. um, and it was a good experience to be there. And I'm going to say this again, other people felt different, but I think it came down to the spacing of the vehicles and not being able to appreciate that, to appreciate the bowls. But I think in terms of everything, I think they ticked all the right boxes and some more. I think they really went over and above in certain things. I mean, for God's sake, they had boats, two boats on the water. They tried to put the car on the platform. They just, I mean, in terms of all the stuff going on, there was a hell of a lot going on. And again, I think there's very different views around a lot of things, and that's perfectly fine. I do think there's a lot they can improve on. That personally, I think sets it off from being a good show and in being a totally amazing show that gets spoken about for years. I don't think people will stop speaking about this one anytime soon, but I do believe that they have the potential to make it even a hell of a lot better. And I hope that seems fair. The point of the videos isn't to come and criticize and slash people, but an honest review of what were some of the things that one heard, but again, to kind of not just repeat what people are saying, but also to kind of say maybe this is something that can be improved upon. My last words about the show is to the Low Stad crew, well done. I think you guys put a lot of effort in. I hope you guys all the best in terms of shows to come. And it really was amazing to see everybody after such a long time.